welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR. It's Monday, so it's time for some news, and
It is news.
it's news. Woo, and
It's
there's
a good news week.
look, a notepad full, that's pretty routine for
I don't see any doodles, so that's
for,
a good thing.
for just some scribble handwriting. But right off the top, something I want to go into, one of the most popular games in VR, Beat Saber.
Mm-hmm.
They just recently dropped a Queen
Music pack.
I almost said DLC pack, but for Beat
Yep.
Saber, music pack is a more appropriate term. And, one of the big complaints some people have about Beat Saber is that it's all kind of
And not EDM.
yeah, no classic rock or what, to be fair, you could say is classic pop, but so Queen dropped and it's a step in that direction and you jumped right on it.
The minute I saw it, I got it. And it was marked down to 13 something for all the songs. So I was like, this is a deal because it's regularly 21.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Saber making some money on these, but I mean, it's Queen, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, you bought it almost day one
Mhm.
and you went right into our Discord after and positive words right off the top. You're like, oh man, they crushed it.
Dude, they didn't, even when we were talking about it off air, I got goosebumps when I was talking about some of just the background shit while you're like, it's hard enough to hit the notes on like hard, let alone pay attention to like 50-foot silhouettes that you can blatantly tell are Freddie Mercury without having any photo detail at all. Or
Yeah, you were saying during Bohemian Rhapsody.
yeah, they did a killer job. All of the songs, but of course you jumped to like the
most known, but I
Yeah.
think you said you went through the whole pack, right?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I haven't done another one, Bites the Dust, which is the first one because that's like honest pound for pound my least favorite Queen song. But
That's usually the way it goes. Is like the most commercially used
they've got
tend to be your least favorite.
they've got it. It's like a best of. There's a couple of songs I wish had been on there and they're not. But
Hey, makes room for a
Beat Saber.
volume
Yeah,
two.
they've been so inclined with other artists to add more. So there's still plenty more from Queen that they could add. But I would say if you're a Queen fan, oh my God. Because the thing I noticed, and I had said this earlier too, is any song you get from Beat Saber is going to sound better than any version you've heard before. It's like they mix it really good.
Yeah, I mean that was something that you were saying is like that you're probably going to be the best audio quality version of the song that
If
you've
you
heard
like the
in
song,
music.
it's going to be the best version of the song you've ever heard, other than live. If it's that thing. So,
Yeah.
like I said, if they do Dylan, you'll be the happiest dude around.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever do Dylan. I love to troll Beat Saber developers on Twitter if they post about,
Everybody wants to get stoned.
I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. I think he's a good vocalist. There's examples like that song that are extravagant to the other end of the spectrum. But it's always fun to troll because it's just not fit for Beat Saber at all.
No, it's a complete opposite. I
So
mean,
it just
imagine
makes
if
me
they
laugh.
started dropping, 12-minute live dead songs.
I think a dead pack in Beat Saber would be freaking awesome.
I don't think they could afford it. As hippie-ish as the dead used to be, it's not that way anymore.
Well,
it's money, baby.
They got Queen.
And fistful.
Somehow I have a feeling Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, but
the
Freddie
state-
Mercury's been dead for how many years?
Yeah, but people manage the estate. And sometimes people's estate is the most greedy thing in the world. But hey, it got done, so clearly it's not the case.
Believe that? It's selling off like you didn't even have any creativity involved in it at all, but somehow you get to sell off your family shit for money.
Yeah, like the terrible Bob Ross story.
Oh,
in
dude,
regards
that
to
was the documentary.
Yeah,
That thing was heinous.
I've heard horrible things about that. But
And you know what sucks though? Because of that, I'll never buy anything endorsed with Bob Ross's name, and that's
it's
shameful
terrible.
because he's freaking awesome.
Yeah, who doesn't love Bob Ross? But in that regard, it's like I'm not the biggest.
Getting me all worked up.
Yeah, about things unrelated to. I love to do that just to get you excited for the next topics. Get you passionate.
Yep.
But anything Beat Saber does, I'm not the biggest rhythm game fan.
I bought a lot of their packs.
Hey, as somebody who goes on records and say I'm not huge on rhythm games, Beat Saber was the VR game I tried, and I bought a headset the next week. And it's wasn't to go play Beat Saber. I was like, oh my goodness, if that's how good VR was playing a rhythm game, imagine other genres,
Yeah.
But it sold a headset to me, and now look where we are, So
Freaking Queen, baby.
Beat Saber is a headset
They're
seller
making moves. I think we're gonna hear a lot more
of that
coming.
direction.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's the whole. I think what they'd ultimately like to do is hit all the
genres. I agree. That's the vibe
See
I
the
got.
Metallica pack coming.
Yeah,
I believe it. Yeah, why not?
dude, they crush it. They crush it. Anything Beat Saber does is good. I almost wish we didn't talk off air about it at all because, yeah, like you said, you were getting goosebumps talking about the Bohemian Rhapsody
Yeah,
silhouettes.
because I mean, it was just how the whole package is put together. You know, besides the obvious of we all know the notes are coming, but a lot of that experience too in the background. It was awesome. Or like We Are the Champions, or We Will Rock You. Come on, man! That gave me goosebumps playing it too.
Yeah, so good.
Fucking Freddie Mercury was the shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those artists that who doesn't love Queen?
I think Adam Lambert sings for him.
These Queen on Queen, yeah. It's always funny when bands continue posts like Alice in Chains, but I've heard the Alice in Chains guy is good.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Lame, I mean, I've always been weird with like original shit. Yeah. It's like Pink Floyd. I'm not running to see.
Well, there's bands. There's bands that have none of the original members in it.
They're still bands.
Yeah, it's interesting, but nonetheless. So beyond that, Bloomberg, probably one of the least trustworthy sources, not in VR news specifically.
Stop lying. This is the most resource fact-finding news on everything and anything. I wholeheartedly put stock in it.
In case you couldn't tell, yes, I was going to say there's some sarcasm in that statement.
Of course.
Even to the point. So Bloomberg came out with, news about the Apple XR headset, and then, apparently they got their hands on a prototype edition of the Quest 3. How? Who knows? But let's go over that. But Bloomberg's usually wrong about what they talk about. I mean, even to the point that they had said that PlayStation sales were so bad, I think they said that they sold like 100,000.
Which a lot of people put stock in. We talked about it.
Well, we had said it's just speculative too.
Of course, but we mentioned it.
And Bloomberg's generally negative about VR stuff. It's
a little clickbaity.
Yeah. So and then it came out that Sony put out last week that they actually sold 600K units in the first 6 weeks of release. So that's not bad, man. And we don't own a PSVR2. I've actually heard a surprising amount of people that aren't VR gamers. By surprising amount, I'm talking literally 3 or 4, but that's a surprising amount of people in my real life circle who I've heard be like, "Hey, I got the new VR thing for PlayStation." They didn't know to call it PSVR2. They said the new VR thing, but so I'm not actually surprised by that. And I love to see any headset do good. If they hit 600K units in 6 weeks, it's realistic that they're going to hit over 1 mil in a year.
I would most definitely.
And so then what's that number going to be after a year?
But to be competitive, that's just not gonna cut it.
Well, the Quest 2 sales was reportedly 20 million.
I don't think it matters to them either because they're exclusive to, having to have the PS5 anyways. So I'll go back to what we had discussed. To me, it's more about the console sale than the VR sale.
Yeah, well, Sony and Microsoft's things kind of always been that they make money off of software, not hardware. So I don't think, I think in Sony's eyes, if it gets them to sell more games, then
they make more money.
Yeah, they don't need
as a whole.
Now, whether or not they're going to hit whatever internal target numbers are, and I think Bloomberg also reported that they had some pretty outrageous target numbers. So, nonetheless, we just brought that up.
$1 billion.
Yeah, we brought that up in reference for, just kind of Bloomberg's credibility. It's not the best. But so they said that they got a hands-on Quest 3 unit. They gave all this stuff about it. I'm not even going to talk about, what they had reported is in it because I don't believe it. I doubt they even got a headset. And if they did, how old is this prototype one? We know how things change. So I don't put stock into it.
I mean, it'd be weird if they were sent one.
I would, very rarely do I talk like this.
Well,
I'm not going to rant, but I'd be a little surprised if kind of what you said. It'd be weird if that's who got a prototype one, untrustworthy source that
very
is generally
clickbaity,
kind of negative to VR.
Yeah. I haven't been the most kind.
No, I would be disappointed to see if that's the media outlets that Meta chooses to send stuff to versus,
if there's a marketing layoff in a week,
Yeah, versus
I know why. I mean, no, the whole thing is kind of weird, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I very rarely do I have a salty, I wish I got one I just like to see anybody have success and cool opportunities. But man, if they sent a thing to Bloomberg or they didn't send them to Road to VR, Upload, or
yeah,
even
there's
us,
certain ones I'll even put above us, and you just mentioned it. It's weird.
yeah.
And then I bring up the whole, how is there no NDA with this? I mean, are you letting them?
That's why I don't
I don't
believe
know.
it
It's
even.
like it's an untrustworthy source. So
Yeah,
I
they've
mean,
lied before, so I doubt they even got anything.
I would have much rather seen other creators actually get them who do the product justice.
I was gonna say I'd be disappointed to see
injustice.
disappointed to see Meta just choose to go to these kind of
Yeah,
clickbaity,
no, I get
shady
it.
outlets instead of people that have actually
No, I get it.
dedicated the time and support to VR. But so yeah, the
Whatever.
Bloomberg report came out.
They're running a business.
I'm not going to report on too much what Bloomberg said in the report because, again, I just don't believe reports coming from Bloomberg.
Yeah.
The credibility speaks for yourself. That's why it's important for us when we review games and stuff to not lie in our reviews, to be honest about our opinion, because otherwise it's situations like that. People don't believe your reports. I'd rather it the opposite, where if people go, man, the Rough Talk VR crew, they said a game's good. They don't lie to me, Isn't that terrible when your reputation is like you put out a report and half the thing? I even joked in the Discord, like, oh, I don't trust anything Bloomberg posts about VR. And somebody responded and with a screenshot of my comment, and they edited out, they crossed the words about VR. So it says, I don't trust Bloomberg about anything. Yeah. So it's not just us.
It's their reputation. But people still click on their shit. So
that's true.
As long as people are clicking on the stuff, then they'll can do whatever they want.
They'll keep doing their clickbait.
They're running a business.
But kind of on that note of, very rarely do I get salty about stuff. Something that I was excited to see, I was the one on record last week saying I'm not fully convinced that Apple's going to release their headset. I think I said 60%, 70%, something like that. I was like, I'm skeptical despite all the news. But then officially it came out that Upload VR and Road to VR got invites to the Apple conference.
Yep. And it's not there to look at a phone.
Yeah, they've never gotten invites before. This is their first year, so that took away any doubt for me. Honestly, when that happened, I don't think the headset will be released. Maybe not even a release date, but they're definitely going to showcase info about it. They're going to officially announce it, and I was happy to see that. I mean, come on, there's no bigger OGs in VR media than Road to VR and Upload VR. So if anybody was going to get invited to this, it's those two that deserve it the most, in my opinion.
I think it'll add credibility when it's announced, and they'll be able to report on it accordingly. So but I was sold last week that it was going to be announced. I didn't have any more doubt.
Yeah, that one took away all doubt. So erase what I said last week with my skepticalness.
I will piss myself if
they go
out there and they were just trolled, and there's no. There's a mention that it's coming soon, but nothing for them to physically look at or see. And
we have plans to one day release a XR headset, and that's it. That'd be terrible. Terrible. But I think that they'll display more than that. But again, I was pumped to see.
I said in Discord they're going to have Steve Jobs come out because they're going to give everyone in the audience one, and you'll see Steve Jobs come out, take a bite of an apple, slam it on the ground, and then puff it.
Yeah, AR Steve Jobs.
Yep, why not?
And Tim Cook comes out on stage wearing one.
Correct.
Takes the mic, looks at the crowd, goes, "Tell your grandma to buy an Apple XR headset," and then just mic drop and walks away.
We're throwing these in with the new iPhones, or. I mean, the $1 million question is still price. We can all say confidently it'll be announced.
Yeah. The word keeps being $3,000. Like we said last week, we've heard
3,000
people speculate
something.
higher.
Yeah. So, heard as high as 7.
I've heard 3 to 4.
Let's see.
I think that the $3,000 number has been the longest running.
It's good for the industry no matter what happens. Good, bad. I mean, if it fails, it doesn't matter. They've still going to invest in it, make it, which everyone says 2.0 will be better than the 1.0, but
that's true for Apple products historically. As long as they continue to make 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, they generally.
But you're asking for $3,000 for that 1.0, and if the consensus is that we know how it goes, that the first one's not going to be that great, then don't charge $3,000 for your first one. Or what is that next one going to cost?
Yeah, I'm never
$6,000.
I'm never going to talk smack about a new player going into the VR hardware industry. I love to see it. I want to see it. I think everybody benefits.
Good for the industry,
especially some company with a cult following like Apple, there's going to be people that come in and first they're going to say that Apple
But
revolutionized and created VR.
Apple
That's
peeps are very
people.
passionate, and
Yeah.
the majority aren't going to sit there and say, "Well, I'll give them the." We all know 1.0. Those are like professionals in the industry or reviewers or people who anything Apple makes they own. It's stand in line for 6 hours to get an iPhone. The everyday person, nah, they're not going to be as
well. That's what I was going to say. I'm supportive.
Although it's not for the everyday person, it's $3,000.
Yeah, with probably a new one already in the works.
Tough sell, bro.
So
I can talk friends into buying an Oculus. I can talk a stranger into buying an Oculus, but
you're not going to with that
3,000. It's like damn, I don't know what percentage.
Well, that's why, I think as long as their sales numbers are realistic, this is going to be a huge benefit for VR. I know there's that report of them trying to hit 10 million and, one a day sold at every retail outlet. But that's another report I just don't really believe because that's outrageous. And if they're expecting to sell...
They're all opinion reports, though.
Well, they say...
There's only one report that matters, and that's when it's coming from Apple.
I agree on that, especially with a secretive company like Apple. So I don't think that their sales numbers...
Secretive
dude, they're secretive. They're patenting things in different
countries.
They're
so secretive they have 2 LLCs they work under as ghost companies called Peach and Banana because they're wicked secretive.
They'll start to trademark and patent things on just random small countries just to hope that somebody...
But people are all over them, dude. They can't think of announcing something without somebody...
This thing's been rumored for 3 years.
Yeah, but that's on them. That started on them.
Yeah,
they started the ball rolling, and then year after year, just gonna stand there and say the same spiel, just change a few verbs and adjectives from last year's sentence. And then
we've seen all the spec rumors of this thing develop and change and contradict through these 3 years as well. So, yeah. I mean, but I'm confident something's being announced.
It's gonna be a beast machine.
Yeah,
I mean that I'm confident.
If I could get
my
hands on one,
even if it's not perfect, but is the Quest, no. Everything's got limitations, but I just want to know that for the people that spend $3,000 when they put it on, they feel like they spent $10,000. Just like I don't feel like the Quest is as cheap as it is.
Yeah.
When I'm in there playing a game, I'm like I'm on $1,000 headset, and I'm sure PC VR players with their high end headsets can say that level's higher for them as well.
Yeah. So I can't talk any smack because let's be real, if one showed up at my door and I opened up a box,
I wouldn't even touch it.
I would wet myself in
oh my
excitement.
God, dude.
So it's like, how can I talk smack?
I would re-believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah, so it's not something I can hate on.
I think an Apple stork or drone would just come by and drop one on.
Again, I'm pumped to see that road to VR and upload VR.
I'm anxious to see what they say after they get to...
Because they're the opinions that... Because you think
Correct.
Whatever Bloomberg says is going to be worth, an asshat reading. That's not...
No, he would say he put it in kindling and it engulfed in flames.
Yeah. I mean...
I'm just saying that jokingly. I don't want any lawsuits. I'm not implying anything other than...
You got, road to VR and upload VR. At least they're consistent, supportive, VR content makers. I mean, they're the leaders in the media. So in that sense, well, I would be, a little like, what the hell, Meta, if they sent headsets to Bloomberg and not, others. I'd be a little like, what the hell? I don't feel that at all with road to VR and upload getting invited. Like, nobody deserves it more. So, and I'm so excited for now. With that, now I can take all of my skeptical, hesitation away and just be excited for the conference in June to see what happens. So cool stuff there. And then also Cards and Tankards, a game that, I mean, we've interviewed the developer. We've reviewed the game. It was one of our favorite App Lab games. On May 25th, they launched officially on the MetaQuest store.
Yeah, that's huge.
So
that's real huge.
Yeah, I love to see it. It's
a great game.
Really is.
Good community, good moderation. Not perfect, but really good moderation.
They have good reporting features.
They're another prime example for AI moderation.
Yeah.
If there ever was.
One of the best examples for free to play. I mean, I've been very vocally against free to play to developers before. We'll say it to developers in interviews. It's like, I think you should just charge for your game. But I'm happy to be wrong too. Gods of Gravity is crushing it. Cards and Tankards, that's another one that crushes it because you don't ever need to spend $1 to enhance your experience. It's mostly just cool.
Any
social
enhancements are
stuff.
just, and it's just to support the devs.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no pay to play type thing. My only beef though, and I'll stand by it, is when you have a free game, I'm less inclined to want to click on it.
Me too.
I scrolled over Cards and Tankards and App Lab for how long, you did as well.
Same with Gods of Gravity.
And we're going back, well over a year.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, it's a free game. How freaking good can it be? Obviously, Gorilla Tag has proved the whole world wrong with that.
But, so I'm happy to be wrong. But
I ate my words.
I don't think we're the only person with this bias either.
No,
and I
think a lot of free to play is you just make assumptions about it, not knowing that it's an actual whole game.
Even $4.99, $9.99.
Mm-hmm. Dude, $1.99 is still better than $0.99.
Yeah. That's just, but I understand every developer who we talk to with free to play goes, I never want a cost of entry to be a barrier. And it's like, you guys are such passionate people. You guys just love your product from a love level so much.
Bunch of times.
Yeah.
There are people that because they're all great human beings. So I say this tongue in cheek, but they're people that should be put into like cubicles or mansions.
Yeah,
whatever.
You're just not allowed to dictate the price of your game. Let me put it that way.
You just click send to other people and let them handle the guilt of charging a fair price for your product. But no, most of the developers are so humble.
I think
Dude, I've yet to even feel from one that like, nah, bro, this is all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
Because in flat screen it happens a lot. You can tell like this was just the potential, or how many games come out and then they're just freaking abandoned to the point where some developers have a reputation for it. Like, no, these people never finish games. They start games. I've got a Steam library with a handful of them that, and I've got a handful of others that have continued to this day. Like 4 years later, they're still making the game better.
Yeah. So, but Cards and Tankards, man, like I said before, one of the best free to play structures I've seen. It reminds me a lot of Poker Stars with like, it's mostly prop items and social items, but
Poker Stars is fun. That was one that I got right away when I got the headset because it was free.
Yeah.
And that's how I went down the roller coaster. Freaking free one there.
Yeah. You downloaded all the free ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of them, just a handful.
Epic Roller Coaster and Poker Stars.
I just wanted that experience.
But I think Cards and Tankards is a much better intro to VR experience.
I wish I knew about it, I wish I had clicked on it sooner.
Well, App Lab wasn't even around when we got the headset originally yet. So, I mean, it speaks volumes to what that new user gets to experience going in the store the first time versus what we experienced, November of 2021 or 2020.
No. Store was a little different.
But no, huge props to Cards and Tankards. A great game. One of my favorites. I'll give the heat to people in it. I'm so comfortable and so confident in my deck for no reason at this point.
Great development team.
Yeah. I just won like my last 15 games. I don't play often, but I go into Cards and Tankards. I'll win one game with my deck and call it a day and go, whew, keeping the streak going. The deck's my deck's well put together right now. I'm going to say that and somebody's going to send me a message and go, all right.
Always fun competition to be had in there.
Yeah. We went
so, no, I think they'll do really well in the store.
I think it's a great experience for somebody who's searching for free-to-play experiences.
Just hope their servers are going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get a boatload of new people jumping on that.
But remember they did it smart, too, that you got to get the season pass to host a private room. So I got the season pass. So they're smart with their monetizing, too. It's props.
I supported whatever. Yeah, there was another reason why I thought I did it, too. But it didn't matter. It's like they charged nothing.
The season pass progression stuff on the wall.
Yes.
That was why. The items. So they're smart, So that's a great example. Even though it's free to play, I did spend, I think, $9.99 on it just to get the season pass because
sometimes you just want to support the devs, too.
100%. That's what happened with Gods of Gravity. We got the Founder Edition in Ghost of Tabor. Not for free. We paid for that. We like to support devs, too. I like free stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I wake up and there's
I fucked up with Ghost of Tabor. Because I bought the $14.99 one.
Yeah.
And then was actually paying attention. And I'm like, these don't stack. They clearly say, like, these don't stack. So don't buy the first one, the middle one, and the last one. Because it's not helping your cause. And then I was like, shit, I really want the free DLC for life. That's like a lifetime season pass. So I'm like, fuck it, 30. So there's 30, 40, 45 right there.
Didn't deduct the cost for...
No.
Yep, they say it. I think they're pretty clear with it. Like you said, it doesn't stack and stuff.
Yeah, you can't stack these.
But,
But it was my own fault for not just biting the bullet. But I don't know, dude. Free DLC for the life of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's a wicked good deal.
Yeah. So you can sell me with free to play stuff with spending money. Sometimes I search for a way.
You just got to sell me to play it. That's the problem.
Here's the way free to play works in VR. It has to be
The whole
cosmetic only, in the sense of like you can't make
pay
gameplay.
to play.
Yeah, you can't have like timers. You can't have like
Get the
action
unstoppable
points.
armor.
Yeah, that doesn't work. But I have no problem. I mean, how many skins did we buy in Pop 1? A paid game.
Too many.
So I do like to support developers in that regard. So I
couple of $100 worth.
Yeah. I hope, and I'm pretty confident that Cards and Tankards is going to crush it on the official store. So one more, and then we'll take a quick ad break, and I'll push our Patreon and such on people, like I love to do as well. So Walkabout Mini Golf announced that they're freezing Quest 1 support coming up. So what that means is the game's not going to be unplayable. Just no more updates. It's going to stay on a frozen build, like whatever build it leaves off on. And
it's a build that works, so you're not screwed. You're just not getting anything new.
And they say for the time being, they say, so no more course improvements on the existing courses, and of course, no new courses.
They currently work, so you're fine.
And they say multiplayer will still work for the time being. Whether that's going to be the case in 5 years, I mean, who knows, right? But it sounds like when the build freezes, you'll still be able to play multiplayer at that time. So, an inevitable reality of game development. I mean, at some point in time for the game to improve.
They're doing it the right way, I think. And they're saying, look, we're not taking it off the platform.
No, you're not losing anything.
How it plays today is how it'll play 6 months from today or 10 years from today, if we so choose.
Yeah.
They could probably have their own version. They could just leave alone for, XYZ years. And
sounds like that's what they're doing. A frozen build, just not touching anymore. It's going to work with the...
But I'd rather a development team put all their resources into the next and greatest than the old and past. And
I agree.
You can always port those over to the new ones easy. We see that all the time with like old Xbox games on... They'll let you play original Xbox games on the Xbox. So it's like,
Yeah, so I think
go with the flow.
I think Walkabout did it right. Like you said, not taking anything away. Just
didn't pull a Band-Aid off.
Nope. And I mean, there's the majority of Quest 1 users that I've talked to and picked their brain about why they still own a Quest 1 and they didn't go to a Quest 2 was like, hey, I got the Quest 1, then a year later the Quest 2 came out.
They're just waiting for Quest
And then it
3.
hit the point, there's actually a good amount of Quest 1 buyers that are vocal that they were going to skip a generation the day the Quest 2 was announced and it came out. So, I think a lot of these Quest 1 users that are losing compatibility or losing new updates and stuff, I think that a lot of those are going to get a Quest 3 as well. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It's just speculative from talking to with these people when they're like,
well, dude, you also are, not every game's going to have to be made for the Quest 1, right? So you automatically start losing out. It's like the better video cards coming out, and then there's like 100 games you can't play. You can download them, just don't start them. Be looking at a glitched out screen on your computer, or the thing, just full blown crashes because you've just destroyed it. But it's just technology, I mean, the pace at which VR moves is rapid right now, but I think they'll reach like somewhat of a plateau where you could get away for 3 or 4 years with one headset. Whereas now it's like, let's be honest, if they come out with one every 2 years, you're probably buying a new one every 2 years, but it'll eventually get to that. I got the Quest 5 and I'll be good till the Quest 7 comes out. Similar to like how iPhones work.
Yeah. I'm happy with a 2-year cycle. I think even
it's aggressive.
It's been longer than 2 years. It's going to be a 3-year cycle. This is a 3-year cycle.
3 years isn't bad.
What I'm saying is I wouldn't even complain about a 2-year cycle, but I'm just on that because I like new hardware and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
Look how much developers in this 3rd year have stretched the Quest 2's capabilities as well. So maybe I'll bite my tongue on that.
Then they can't make them so good that they'll last you 10 years because then you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, and we talked with Chris Pruitt on that interview, and he's like, dude, it's years away from. So, I mean, it might even be another year from now, and people are still improving the Quest 2, not even the Quest 3, so.
Oh, well, no, definitely, because not all.
Quest 2 requirements still going to exist, right? Just like they did for Quest 1. All Quest 2 games have to run on Quest 1.
What would be interesting, though, is if like a year after the Quest 3 launches, if they kind of lightened up a little on the requirements to get on the Quest 2 store, we'll say, just to, like, look, you can't sell it for the, again, similar to Xbox, where there's certain games you can't play on a 360 or an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Because they're made specifically for the.
Yeah, Meta was pretty strict with that Quest 1 requirement until like a year. Resident Evil 4 was the first one that didn't.
If they loosened a little, then it would be kind of cool because you'd see more from the App Lab side be able to.
But we're on the minority that say that, because I guarantee you if they pumped out exclusives from day one, a lot of people would complain. Isn't that crazy?
Care.
But for me, selfishly,
I
hell
honestly,
yeah. If it means a better game.
Listen, if I get a Quest 3 and then I find out that there's going to be some games only made for the Quest 3, I'm excited because I'm like, I'm going to get to see more of what it can really do instead of having somebody who might not be able to put it there. So, I mean,
I'm all about next gen hardware not being held back by old gen hardware. You know what I mean? Requirements to meet.
I know exactly what you mean.
But let's pause there because we're kind of going into the next thing of, I want to go over some predictions with the Quest 3. It's kind of hot right now. The conversation's going with the Meta Quest showcase leading in, and case in point, we're even just talking about store requirement, stuff. We love that stuff though, of like frame rate requirements to get on the store. I don't know. Sometimes we geek out about that stuff, but nonetheless, so let's take a break. Let's get a message from our sponsors, and we'll be back with you in a minute. But right before that, I always love to shout out our Discord, which, dude, the activity, as we always talk about, it's a great community. Game meetups, it's free to join, game meetups, great VR discussion, food pictures, animal pictures, just life discussion too. Just great non-toxic group of people. Man, the activity is picking up. It's really cool to see. So definitely go check out our Discord. We do weekly game giveaways in there. So basically you go to the giveaways channel. It'll all be explained in there. And we give away, at least a game a week. Like I said, great game meetups, great VR discussion. So go check out that link. And then also we have our Patreon server, where we have a benefit where you get access to an exclusive channel in our Discord server. We can just talk only to Patreon members, and we kind of drop exclusive tidbits of like, interviews and episodes coming up. Sometimes we'll dump a Google form in there to ask questions for an upcoming guest. So cool stuff on the Patreon regard. And then also, we before I go into that, we also offer on-air shout outs and everything like that. Cool little tier that has a message across the bottom, rolling tier of everybody on that tier, a rolling message of everybody's name on that tier. So that stuff's all cool. Beyond that, we're running a promotion through the month of June, where if you join our Patreon and you join the $5 tier, the $10 tier, or the $25 tier, we'll give you a game key of exclusive value to that tier. So you join the $10 tier, you get a $10 game. In the same way, if you upgrade from the $5 tier to the $10 tier, we'll give you the $10 game. So beyond supporting the podcast, you also get a free game, at the moment you join. So that's some cool stuff. So go join our Patreon, go join our Discord, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RuffTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
What's up, everyone? Summer's just around the corner, and are you ready to unveil your beach bod? Manscaped is here to ensure your body is ready for the wild with their game-changing full-body grooming and hygiene products. Don't be that guy at the beach with the Austin Powers chest hair, and if you grew some winter man tits, the least you can do is make sure they're hairless. It's time to get ready for that hot summer weather by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR. Manscaped is dedicated to helping you increase your confidence and level up your full body grooming game with the Performance Package 4.0. The kit comes with the Essential Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. Whether you're trimming your chest or your treasure chest in your pants, this is the best trimmer on the market. Their trimmer features a ceramic blade designed to cut hair on loose skin and to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology. You can even trim an arrow pointing to the promised land if you're bold enough. Inside the performance package, you'll also find the Manscaped Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer because we all know how painful chafing can be when you're wearing your bathing suit all day. You'll also get 2 free gifts, the Shed Bag of a $39 value and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxers. If you're wearing sandals, you need to get the Manscaped Shears 2.0 Nail Kit. Having the right tools for grooming is essential. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. Trim your chesticles with the besticles. This episode of Ruff Talk VR is sponsored by BetterHelp. Virtual reality gaming is amazing, but let's not forget to take care of our mental health in the real world too. BetterHelp is the world's largest online counseling platform, offering professional, affordable, and convenient therapy. Their licensed therapists specialize in everything from depression and anxiety to relationship issues and stress management. So, if you've been struggling to balance your love for MetaQuest VR gaming with life's challenges, BetterHelp is here to support you. They'll match you with the perfect counselor, tailored to your specific needs. And with the convenience of video, phone, or even live chat sessions, you can get the help you need from the comfort of your own home. As a Ruff Talk VR listener, you get a special offer of 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Just visit betterhelp.com/RuffTalkVR. That's betterhelp.com/RuffTalkVR and start taking charge of your mental health today.
And we're back. And like I referenced before, we have a tier that gives a weekly on-air shout-out. So for the people on our weekly on-air shout-out tier, I want to give a huge thanks to Jake, to Earth Witness, to Amelia, to Crispy, and to Shoes. So thank you all. We have some other Discord supporters as well. We don't always, you don't need to do an on-air shout-out as well. You can also put a different name. We had our funny Siberian joke the other week that you could put your pet name or whatever. So, other ways to support as well besides just an on-air shout out there. So to keep going, like I said, I want to go over some.
You can visit us on YouTube too.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. That's
you're an anti-YouTubeamite.
No, it's your
your
tag.
Sort of deep beef.
No, you wear the YouTube tag. That's your job. That's your
Speaking
role.
of wearing.
Yeah. Ooh,
Speaking of wearing.
Our friends over at Between Realities.
Between Realities set up this shirt. I don't think I can turn. Let me try. On the back, man, I love this fucking shirt. Can you see it?
Yeah. That's a good shirt.
Dude, I like it. Really soft.
So for our YouTube listeners or watchers, you can see that there. It's a nice Between Reality shirt. Another podcast that we actually had on sometimes. And
I'm actually trying to go out of my way to make it so the logo is always visible here.
Yeah,
and I don't know how much
we're always trying to find time to get on there. The problem is working a full-time job. They record live and everything like that.
Dude, they got a lot of
They're crushing it.
Yeah.
They're a great example of if you support on the Patreon, we're able to do this full time. We're able to do more cool stuff like that. Check it out. So
yeah, but thanks for the shirt.
Yeah, and definitely go subscribe to us on YouTube. Even if you listen on audio, subscribing on YouTube, it helps so much. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. X amount of watch hours, all that stuff for monetizing.
It's slowly moving.
We're getting there, baby. So help us hit 1,000. Help us monetize the YouTube as well. And other than that, like I said before the break, I wanted to go over some Quest 3 predictions like we were kind of doing with the story, just because, with Bloomberg's reports, I don't.
No, we're not talking his name anymore.
Yeah, well, their website name.
Yep.
It.
Oh, I thought, like he's an entity in front of me.
Yeah, like he's a single guy and not a whole corporation, a whole news entity, So just to go over some predictions on it, what do you think the Quest 3's gonna have? I think obviously they're gonna keep.
I was pretty sold on color pass through only because of some game previews I've seen that all are
like Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, and that's not.
Come on.
That's not being sold to me as like, oh, you have to be a Quest Pro user. Mm-hmm. So right off the bat when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm sold on the color pass through.
Mm-hmm. I think it needs those pancake lenses too.
The controllers are the only thing about it. I expect it to be more lightweight, more stylish looking per se, not as blocky. But
I think it'll look a little bit, even if it's not the same controllers as the Quest Pro. You know how the Quest Pro controllers don't have
the Halo,
yeah. And it's just kind of that. I think that's their future design.
I just don't know how they're going to do it with a controller not, I mean, the Quest Pro controllers
are $300.
Yeah, dude, and they've got tracking that like go behind your head. It's not guessing or kicking you off.
Computer processors in each.
So what would be the point of not having the Halo if? Although I don't believe it's going to have a Halo, but what would be? How are they going to do it for the tracking? Is it going to be the same tracking as the Quest 2?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty sold on that. It's going to have color pass through. I think it's going to have pancake lenses. I don't think it's going to have eye tracking. I don't think it's going to have face tracking. My biggest question is the controllers. I agree on that. I don't know what to expect with those.
I've got pretty much confidence in all the other stuff. Here's what I'd love to see, though. For pre-release, you can start throwing your money at it, but there will be a bundle we'll take off $150 off the Pro controllers if you add it to your new Quest bundle.
Hell yeah. Sold on day one.
Yep. I keep racking my head on that being a possibility because there's nobody who... I've heard people who own Pros be like, it's all right. But these controllers, holy crap, you should try them out.
I saw one dude post on Reddit talking crap about the Pro controllers because he goes, dude, I only whacked them on the wall one time and they stopped working. It's like, well, you whack something.
You whack your hand on the wall hard
it might stop working.
It's going to stop working. You might even...
That's a good point. You can break bone doing that, dog.
Yeah.
There's
plenty of people that have punched walls and hit a stud thinking they were going to go through the sheetrock.
Do you know how light a controller is? And you just whip that at a wall?
Dude, most times in
with
VR,
a computer
you're playing
processor
with intent.
in there?
Come
on. Yeah. Dog, go buy
It's one of my fears with a tethered setup would be not yanking a cord out, but yanking a piece of like $4,000 equipment off a shelf or countertop and onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That would freak me out.
Well, my problem when you hit a cord and you rip it out, like you can mess up the port, and then that's a big uh-oh. It's never dude, you don't hit a cord and it pulls out gracefully. You know what I'm saying?
It never ends well either.
Something that I think is without a doubt we're going to see, and I think if it's not there, it's a big uh-oh for the entire VR industry, is the accessibility for, or the compatibility for accessories on the Quest 2. I think we're going to see that on the Quest 3 as well.
I think our sponsor, Kiwi Design, will probably be all over the Quest 3.
I believe much more that they have a test unit of the Quest 3. I think it would be foolish for them to not.
I'm not even going to say they have a test unit.
They have a model of what it looks like.
I'm going to say they have
3D print.
They have schematics of a manufacturing print of, if you go by these exact dimensions, you can.
I think we're going to see accessories at launch, third-party accessories at launch.
Because the one thing I'll say about Meta with the third parties is they encourage it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, and that shocked me because I thought for sure their attitude would have been more of a proprietary, like you don't make things we make the things.
Yeah.
But truthfully, it frees them up to make the damn devices and not have to make a ton of aftermarket accessories for it. So the fact they're encouraging, I've always appreciated that.
You mentioned our sponsor Kiwi, but I don't think that they'll be the only one that
No, I just use them as an example because they're freaking sponsor.
And that's purely speculative. That's nothing we know, but
good Quest products. So
I think we're going to see that type of compatibility continue in the Quest 3 because I think that allows them to sell a cheaper headset.
And the Pro's not for gamers. Kiwi's for gamers.
Yeah. And
not for,
I think the reason you don't see a bunch of Quest Pro accessories is the units on the market. The same reason you don't see a bunch for the new.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
From a manufacturing standpoint.
Yeah, to research and design, to start to print, to ship.
It's just not financially worth it.
Yeah. But the Quest line, absolutely.
Well, they'll know by pre-order numbers when to turn on them machines.
Well, and that's also how Meta's but able to sell a $300 headset, a $400 headset, because they don't need to sell it with some exclusively, incompatibly to switch nice head strap, face shield, battery attachment in the back. Like, no, you sell it with the cheapest head strap, the cheapest face shield that they needed to do
You're lucky it
consumer
comes with a
recall
battery inside.
Yeah, it's like,
Could
no,
make you wear it.
I'm down for selling the stripped down unit that you can spend more to pimp out on the things that you care about,
Well,
you know?
Yeah, dude.
If it means getting the hardware inside, the cheapest, fuck yeah, let's go.
Well, and there's nothing wrong
it.
with the stock shit they have. The only thing I have wrong with the stock stuff they have is after I go from what I have back to normal, I'm like, I don't want this thing in my hand. It feels like a toy.
I used to see so many people when I first got my Quest 2 head strap be like, the stock head strap sucks. And I'd always be like, dude, I got no problem with this thing. And now with my Kiwi one with the battery pack, dude.
No, I feel when I'd see everyone posting all the different company ones, and I'd be like, I'm not paying all that just for a battery, whatever. But the comfort changes and the quality of life while playing is night and day.
Yeah. So what I always joke is Papa's controllers, the Quest Pro.
We held out for a while though before getting a new head strap, I think.
Oh my goodness, like 6 months.
Yeah.
Almost a year. Like,
who knew the world would be so good on the other side?
So good.
It was.
And then with the Pro Grip controllers too. So I think we're going to see that type of stuff at launch too. So I think we're going to see a lighter headset. I don't think we're going to see the full power benefits taken advantage of the Quest 3 because I don't think there's going to be these exclusives at launch. Unfortunately, if there was, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I'm going to think for launch of the Quest 3, there will be some exclusives announced. I'm not necessarily saying on the first.
Yeah.
But
when it
comes closer, oh, definitely. Yeah. I don't doubt that. I'll even say at least 3 Quest 3 launch titles.
I'll say we don't see it for 1 year after release.
Dude, how many games are they saying they're making for?
Yeah, like 150 or something like that.
So, you can pick 3 of them and put a rush on it because they obviously know what's going on.
I like when we disagree. I'll say 1 year. 1 year before we see exclusives.
No, I'll say launch.
1 year post-launch, I mean.
This will be easy because...
Well, one of us is right, one of us is wrong. It's simple.
I'm the quicker bet on this because if it doesn't happen at launch, then
you're wrong.
It doesn't matter if it came out a week later. I'm still wrong.
Shit, we could both be wrong because it could be 6 months post-launch. Then we're both wrong.
What if they started selling games before? And this is just bullshit.
Pre-order games for launch.
Pre-order games for before the system even comes out.
Let's see what happens at.
I would do it with certain games though.
Yeah, let's see.
It's so dumb.
Let's see what happens at the MetaQuest showcase.
Well, here's one though. Color choices. I want a black headset, and
I agree with that.
Period. I take this white thing, and
it's one of the cooler aspects of iPhones. If we're going to talk about Apple,
the color choices.
Yeah, people
what if Apple lets you choose like the rose?
Do you have any idea what color my phone is?
Well, no, because it's in a case.
That's the thing.
But here's mine. Mine has a see-through back case.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it's friggin' black.
Yeah, mine's blue.
But if Apple with launch is like, hey, not only can you get this awesome thing, but we'll let you color choose the damn thing, that's a little bit of a
that's something I would like to see from the Quest too.
At Quest, I'd like to see black or white. Give us a choice.
But I
want the black.
I do have my nice purple skin from Lucid Skins.
Yeah,
that I love my custom Rough Talk VR skin too. My headset looks so jacked up with the accessories and the skins. I love it. It's gonna be so funny going to a stock Quest 3. I put it on now. I
feel like I'm putting on like a robot helmet.
Yeah. Dude, 100%. Earmuffs. Let's go, baby. So yeah, I'm loving my accessories. It's gonna be sad to lose them for the Quest 3, but I think we're gonna see them at launch. I think we're gonna see them at launch. I think we're gonna see a lighter headset, more powerful.
As long as I know Kiwis. They don't even have to say what products, but if I could get some sort of like acknowledgement that
it's gonna happen.
Look, just wait for the headset to come out. We'll have plenty of
VR Optician is who I got our lenses from, and I hope so much that they're already got Quest 3 ones in work because I love my lens inserts.
They're another one I'd probably reach out to.
Yeah, I need it day one.
I need
those. Like I can't wear glasses with a headset after using those.
Prescription lenses?
Oh no, and I have the best one.
I have the straight lenses just strictly for...
And look, that's an expense that I carry as a glasses owner. I'm not complaining that I need to buy lens inserts. I'm down for it. Just let me buy them day one,
My attitude with them is I'd rather protect the more valuable lenses underneath these lenses, knowing there was no bleed over or anything with them. Didn't hurt field of view for me, nothing. So, but what I'm protecting underneath them is more valuable than what those lenses cost.
Yeah. I don't think that there's anything we really disagreed on besides just exclusivity of games.
Yep.
At launch, post launch.
I'm saying at least 3 for launch of Quest 3.
I agreed with you on color pass through. I think we're going to see pancake lenses. We both have no idea about the controllers. That's the biggest question mark.
I'd rather a leak of the controller at this point than the headset.
Yeah. 100%. I think we're going to see, like I said, those pancake lenses. I don't think we're going to see eye tracking, face tracking, or full body tracking.
What if the controller's just gloves?
Yeah.
Thin gloves.
I've had a lot of debates with people about this. There's some people that say that this is actually less user-friendly than touch controllers, and I disagree on that.
What's that?
That
gloves?
Yeah, that they're like frustrating to use. But I'm like, well, that's like, a matter of technology not being there yet.
Talking today, I'm saying, what if they did it, it's going to freaking work.
That's how I felt too, 100%. But it's honestly not as universally agreed upon as you would think. Isn't that crazy?
I'd say so.
Because to me, that's
especially
a no-brainer.
When you're buying Apple headsets and everyone's jumping up and down, they don't have controllers.
Everybody I've ever put a headset in or put on a headset, they freaking go, it would be so much cooler if I could just use gloves. I've heard people say it to me.
Well,
multiple people.
There are some people pumping out some.
So I'm all about
it's all research now, anyways. But the force feedback gloves,
the haptic gloves.
Holy crap, dude!
Yeah, I'm always like, damn it, when I see the haptic gloves and they don't have tracking because none of them ever do. It's like, no, it's such a missed opportunity. But
you got to preload it with like heat and pins and all sorts. So it's always right. So it knows the game you're playing. Like, oh, you're playing this. Well, you're going to be fighting dragons. So you got to put that lighter in there so it heats up your hand, and then you got to.
And while I say I wish those haptic gloves had tracking, who knows if that's something even software-wise supported on the headset's end. So that's just me saying, just as a consumer, I
mean, in the future, we're just going to put on headsets like putting on a pair of glasses. So, that technology is real far away, but we'll still talk about it.
How much of geeks are we that our biggest question mark, the thing that we want to leak, the leak we want the most?
Show me the controller.
I want to know the control.
Show me how sexy that controller leg is. Oh my God, it's beautiful.
I'm so confident the headset's going to be good and it's going to fit, like meet my needs. That's my biggest question is the controller. It's too funny.
Please don't make it so phallic looking.
So a couple more things real quick. Huge shout out to Ghosts of Tabor, a game that we reviewed the other week or gave our early impressions on. Wasn't a full review.
Yeah.
We interviewed last week Scott Albright, and definitely a Hall of Fame interview. One of our favorite interviews. That one was awesome.
Dude's wicked cool.
Combat Waffle Studios, dude. Based off of what he said, they're going to kick ass for the next 2 decades.
They're going to leave
VR.
They're going to leave a mark in this industry from. At least we know on Quest and PC for sure.
Yeah. So they put out a video saying that they had passed 100K players.
100,000.
100,000 players. And it's like, did that mean 100,000 sales, 100,000 players playing within the same time frame?
No, I'm thinking 100,000 total.
Total sales, player, like unit. That's how I interpret it, but it wasn't 100% clear.
Yeah.
You can interpret the statement how you want. But they said that they've hit 100K players, and that's huge for a game on early access on App Lab on the Quest
Made
side.
11 months ago.
And then you go on the Steam sales.
It's pretty amazing.
If you go on the Steam top charts, it's up there.
Dude,
it's pretty high up on the top selling.
If they don't lose ground and they stay focused on doing what they're doing and putting out the updates and the patches and looking at that end goal, 5 years from now, this thing is going to be like, this is the pop one killer, folks.
Yeah, this is the
one that just ices it over for that. I mean, and it's on its way out anyways, but
I'd be curious to hear.
It's going to be a tough one to beat.
I'd be curious to hear if other competitive shooters in VR have seen a player drop the last 2 months since this game came out.
How could you not? I mean, look at the people in our Discord are pretty routine and religious with
so
certain games.
We're pushing it pretty hard. I won't lie. We're freaking loving it.
Almost any free moment I have, I'm like, you want to do some raids? Because, I mean, let's be honest. Raid can go 10 minutes. It can go 30 minutes. It's up to you. So you can end at any time if you don't die.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just fitted perfect. But this is an early access game, and I believe they are crushing it.
And it's only going to get better. You know, they just put out a patch. We're recording this on Sunday for news dropping tomorrow on Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day for our listeners in the United States.
Happy day to everyone else.
Yes, it's Happy Monday if you're...
Happy Monday.
Yeah, but it's Memorial Day here in the United States, so happy Memorial Day. So they put out an update on Friday. Had some issues with the Amazon web servers getting it out fully. And then they put out, I haven't had any issues with the update. I actually think the update's for the better.
Minor issues.
They did some cool stuff. So they nerfed the purple card for getting into one room. They changed the physics for inserting the clip, a bunch of stuff that we could go over on like dedicated.
Dude, we could, we talked about it before we were on
we
here.
could easily do a goal set to
we could talk for an hour on just what the updates were. That
and
they
our opinions
just did.
on them and everything like that. But overall, I've had no negatives about it. We were playing with our friend Caleb, and he was having some glitches and stuff. And I have seen in their Discord some people.
He wasn't having glitches. He was having, if anything could go wrong, it was going wrong.
And it was terrible because it
was shit that nobody's ever had go wrong.
And it was us were just sitting there. The only weird thing I had is my gun attachments would flow off my gun.
At the start. Yeah. Just pop them back on.
Yeah, or if it was on the wall and I started back on, then you have to pop back. It was like literally still
Although
attached
when you
to the
have
gun,
multiple things, I'm sure it's a pain, but...
Yeah, but this is part of early access. Look, you're going to... It's
early access.
11 months this game came... it came out in 11 months. Now we're at 13 months.
I'm amazed when I read the list of stuff, I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, I'm not a developer, but I probably would have broken it up into like a month and been like, okay, let's do these 5 this week. We'll do these 5 next week. I mean, they dumped a boatload.
Yeah, so I think that this update's for the better. I had a great time last night. Here's what's going to happen in early access with updates. You're going to patch some stuff, and some new bugs are going to pop up.
Shit's going to break.
That happens in every early access game. That's part of early access. And then also, anytime they add new features, change features, nerf something, make something better, weaker, stronger, people who played the game a lot, even though it's in early access, and want the game to stay exactly how it is, besides bug improvements. All they want is bug improvements. They don't want any more changes. They're happy because they're good at the game. They have it figured out. If something gets changed, even if it's for the better, you're going to hear negative feedback from these people for a week or two because they're just passionate. They love the game and they were good at it. But it's for the better in the long run. After a week or two, when everybody gets the hang of it, nobody's going to be saying, it was better before, and this is going to happen all the time, It's going to happen next update, the next update, the next update,
I was saying in the Discord that because it can be rough for some people, that's just the way it is. I mean, we live right near each other, but yet we can have sometimes different experiences in a game when something goes wrong. But I predicted there'll be a time like 3 or 4 years from now, all the OGs are going to be like, it'd be really cool if you would release a version or a map or something that was like how it was back in 2023. I really miss, because it's getting, and knowing that Scott's outlook is like realism. So like with the gun loading, it's just, there's going to be so many changes coming.
Yeah.
We're going to miss the janky days.
Well, it's not funny. It's gonna be like old school RuneScape, like that.
Bring me back. I don't care if it's little. I know the risks. I know things could happen, but I just want that old school version.
So huge props to them for hitting the 100K. Huge props on them for the update. They're
and not full disclosure. They did the update,
and now they're working on a hot fix.
Not everything went smooth, so they instantly were like, "Look, we're gonna work on this Sunday. We'll do another fix to get these issues fixed."
And it came out today.
And these are dudes that should be taking, a little R&R for...
They should be taking the 3-day weekend.
Correct. It's a holiday, technically, and they're not really enjoying it like they should.
No,
so hats off to them for fixing that up.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I'll be doing raids later anyway, so...
Couple more things, 2 more things. This one's pretty quick, though. I got to give a shout-out to Pixel Rip 1978. They're releasing now officially. It was announced maybe a month or 2 ago, and we had watched the trailer, and we had missed the first 2 Pixel Ripped games, but this is the third in the series. They did a 90s one and an 80s one. Now this is 70s. For you, it's really cool. As 70s is
born in 1970.
That's your stomping grounds, baby. And it's done with an official partnership with Atari. I mean, it's pretty cool to freaking see, those type of big names, even if it's just in a partnership. And now it came out that they're getting an official release date on Quest 2, on Steam, and on PSVR 2 on June 15th. So that's huge. So, dude.
Not too far away.
No.
Couple weeks.
Dude, on Thursday, June 1st, this week, we have the MetaQuest Showcase.
It's happening.
I'm so freaking pumped. So pumped. So we're going to have a lot to talk about next Monday.
I think what's sad, and I'm going to bring it up, and I'm not shitting on Meta, but it's just the the way the business goes. We don't know the inner workings, but there were a lot of people that were let go from Meta.
Last week there was their final wave of layoffs.
Yeah, there were a lot of good people that have done work that were let go pretty much the week before we're going to be kicking back, enjoying the whole show. But it's just worth noting.
And the reports on it in the media was that there were some, AR, VR winged people, in that section. It wasn't like just WhatsApp and Instagram.
Yeah, no, this was like a direct.
And that final wave of layoffs,
some sort of affiliation.
It brings their numbers back to where it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah. So now we'll see. Now, if there continues to be, and when a company resets to the point that it technically should be for, all things being equal with the world getting back in order. Now, if I start seeing layoffs, I'm going to be like, this is getting scary.
And they had vocalized from the start that there was going to be 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Like, this is it's not surprise.
We like to do the layoffs in waves.
You can go over if that's the best managerial decision and whether you should have people
nervous. If you're going to lay off, let's say 10,000, you do it all at once. 10,000 angry people can be it's a force to reckon with.
But I think they did 2 rounds of 10,000 and 1 of 5,000.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
So
condolences to those.
My LinkedIn is very active right now.
But formers.
On the other side of things, and I've seen this, there's a ton of developers who have posted, hey, look, we get what's going on. If you've got any background in the VR industry, send us your resume. Let's talk. So as one person's leaving, there's doors that are opening up as it's happening to say, look, anybody come talk to us and we'll see what we can work out.
I'd like to think if you have Meta on your resume in the VR world and you're looking to stay in the VR world, it's probably easy to find a new gig. That's my impression.
I won't say easy.
Well, not easy.
Not impossible.
I'd say it probably looks real nice on your resume, like you worked for the top dogs in the industry.
It's cool to see those companies step up and be like, look, we're here if you want to try to work.
We've seen it in a lot of ways with some of other quote unquote content creators and stuff who have really opened up their. It's a very supportive community. There's really not a dog eat dog mentality, and
it's too
cool to see. Yeah, it really is.
What are you gonna pick a war?
Right?
you wanna fucking fight?
So that was cool to see Pixel Rip get their official release date on June 1st. Cool to see what I'm excited what comes June 1st. I'm so freaking excited.
We're doing a lot of talking next week.
And to just kind of wrap this up with the last thing, one of the leaders in AR technology, Magic Leap. It came out that Meta is reportedly in talks with Magic Leap on a partnership for licensing and patents to be able to use their technology and their works. They're in the talks of a little partnership. And if that goes through, if that's real, that's another one of those, like when we talk about potential down the line of the Meta and Microsoft partnership, it's another world freaking domination moment.
It's a game changer moment.
Meta's already one of the leaders in AR, in XR technology in general, whether you want to talk VR, mixed reality, or augmented reality, but then to take, who is in a lot of people's eyes the leader, Magic Leap, and go, hey, buddy.
Why don't you snuggle up for her?
That Apple headset's coming out. They're pretty focused on mixed reality and AR, I mean, wouldn't it be cool if we did something,
It's how it's supposed to be, though.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Burger King, McDonald's.
Well,
it works. Neither one lives without the other.
I like Apple products, but you know how a lot of the fanboys go. Apple's typically not the first one to make a product in the industry, but a lot of their diehards will act like they created the industry.
Yeah, no.
So we're gonna hear
how
that
Apple created VR.
Yes,
yeah,
100%. And it's going to be obnoxious. It's going to be like, Meta just sold 20 million headsets on a standalone headset.
It won't matter. It's too funny. I'm not shitting on Apple either.
We're going to hear Apple revolutionized XR, and we're going to hear Apple, set the modern standards or created it and revitalized it. It's going to be obnoxious.
Who would really crush it in the market?
What? Who?
Amazon.
They don't really dabble in technology and hardware for anything besides Alexa, and even then, Alexa's kind of.
But dude, in the inside, they're dealing with robots and automated shit everywhere.
Yeah, even with Alexa, they're transitioning it more to just being integrated into, as a third-party software integration into existing products.
I was just trying to think of companies that
Amazon
could come out with a dominance if they chose to, and you take people with an endless bucket of money.
Yeah,
they can do whatever they want.
I think it's just a proof hardware is tough, dude. Hardware's tough.
You will save 10% off your purchase if you pick it yourself. Just pop on your Amazon headset. It'll be just like the game. We tell you where to go find it.
Well, that's how Amazon would go into VR. They would work out a partnership with Meta to have an Amazon app where you can shop for Amazon inside the headset. Because again, Amazon's so
in your forklift.
And again, who did Ghost at Tabor say that they had an issues with whose servers? AWS, Amazon Web Services. Amazon's all about software.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I'm just playing.
Hey, that was their words.
I ordered stuff this morning. I wanted to show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I played The Last Worker, and in my conclusion, I ate a steak and ordered an item to come in the next 24 hours on Amazon Prime.
Be some shit though if you could literally order it like that. Just go into VR and walk down the aisle, pop it into your cart, talk to people in the aisle. Hey, what are you up to? I thought you guys were golfing today. No, I'm here shopping.
Yeah, I got my headset through Amazon, dude. So it's quite
check out, and then it's in your freaking front door the next day. That would be, I could see that.
So I think that's much more likely than hardware because, it seems like Amazon just doesn't touch. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody will be like, dude, you didn't know about this. That. I'm like, oh, shit, maybe. But it seems like that they're more focused on software side. I mean, I'm just speaking off of my knowledge as a consumer. Maybe I'm incorrect, but they definitely seem more software focused. But so anything else you want to throw out before we wrap this baby up?
I'm good.
All right. So
I'm a good.
Like always,
I'm excited for this week. So,
like I already said, join our Discord, join our Patreon, go subscribe, rate us 5 stars, subscribe on YouTube, help us hit 1,000.
You said it.
Ooh, look at that. So, and then stay tuned for Wednesday where we have a really fun interview dropping.
Yeah,
and then in Massachusetts, some nice weather this week. So we'll say it on our end. Enjoy the nice weather. Up.
We'll be looking like cooked marshmallows.
We're getting toasty. It's gonna be like 90 degrees for that Meta Quest showcase. So let's go, baby. I'm excited. I'll be sweating in my room.